Welcome to our live Pittsburgh Sportsline TV show in the BPTV studios. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine, Smoking Jim Frazier, Chip Hayner. Smoking Jim's not mic'd up, so Nick Callis here. And we got plenty of sports and other information. And who knows what adventure or story Smoking Jim's going to bring up tonight. He's not mic'd up because somehow he came here at 12 minutes to 7, and he didn't get mic'd up till 1 minute after the show started, so he can't even talk yet. But we hear him laughing. Thanks for watching us on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park. Thanks for watching us on Verizon 32 in Bethel Park and all the way from Nemacolin, Cranberry, Wexford, all points in between, wherever the Verizon hub is. So we appreciate you. On Facebook, we went down a little bit. 6,927 likes. So we appreciate the likes. Thank you for doing that. And I have a few promos here I'd like to put out. Let's get the first one up. We got A2 because we got A1 in the control room. Let's see what he does on. Wow. He's on fire. Our newest intern with Ryan. They came in as a dynamic duo, Ryan and A2. Look at that. Olive Oil's Pizzeria, right at Hillcrest Shopping Center. Frank Fanero made the XL pizza, said hi to Smoking Jim. He said, can you mention the show at least 6 times? I said, we normally do it a few times. And he told him we had a radio show, Smoking Jim. So the saga continues. Everybody thinks we're on the radio. And he makes great pizza, hoagie. These interns, they crushed this today. I think they only left 1.5 pieces for Smoking Jim to eat during the show. So try to keep your eye on Smoking Jim, Frank Fanero from Olive Oil's Pizzeria. They also have great salads, desserts, you name it, they have it. Check it out right at Hillcrest Shopping Center, 412-831-1900, Olive Oil's Pizzeria. Next up, I have a 501c3 that touches my heart since I had a kidney transplant. This is Always Be Smiling. Wait till you see what A2 comes up with. Is that perfect or what? He's even going closer on this. Unbelievable without his hands.
Good job, Tony.
That's A2 because you got Anthony in the control room, so you're going to call them both the same name. And it's a 501c3. They had a son who had 2 kidney transplants. He died at 16 and a half. His name was Bennett, and his nickname was B. He was always smiling, and he died at 16 and a half due to complications to kidney disease. And they're raising money to help other families with children and people with kidney disease. And they're just a local group here, and they're just great. So check out Always Be Smiling. If you can, like it there. We're trying to boost up their likes on their page. I got them from 640 up to 700, so if you can help, like Always Be Smiling. And that goes for A1 in the control room. If anybody wants to help you out with likes, let them.
Yeah.
Next, we end each show with Stay Joey Strong. Look at A2. Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation. Poor Joey died before his 9th birthday 7 years ago to dreaded brain cancer called DIPG. And they started this Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation. September 12th, we have their biggest event, the 5K 1 mile Joey Fabus Superheroes event. People dress up as superheroes because Joey loved the superheroes, and they raise money there, and they probably get close to 1,000 people to do this. And we plan on filming it at 9 in the morning and talking to a lot of the people that do this race and to see why and meet even Joey's family. So check it out on September 12th. And you can donate as little as $1 to that or just come out to the event. You can even walk 5K or run for 1 mile. Another 501c3. Let's see what A2 can do on this one. Quick as can be. Bethel Park Historical Society Schoolhouse Arts and History Center, 2600 South Park Road. Rode by today, saw the old red trolley there right out front. You can't miss it. And they have my favorite green tea there, Dragon Well. They also have roasted coffee from around the world. It's called Reginald's Coffee. So check them out. And they're just a few minutes from here. You can't miss them. And they do different events. They have remodeled 1905 schoolhouse, new windows, new roof, a cupola with the original bell from the Bethel Park High School, yearbooks from all the years in Bethel Park. They have uniforms, military uniforms, and they have some history books and things. And they have an artist that's there, and they have a lady that does a dance class there. So they do events. We'll see what happens with all this COVID issues coming up, but check them out. Can't miss them there. Bethel Park Historical Society.
There's a couple yearbooks I'd like to see.
Really? What year, Smoking Jim? What's her name? What's her name? All right, Dave Cable likes to have a little fun. Let's see. My yellow shirt looks... Oh, there we go. I want you for BPTV. You can be like, we got Steve, the MVP, former Rookie of the Year. How many years have you been here, Steve? 4 years. Wow. He's ready to graduate from Point Park College, and he's Smoking Jim got a couple degrees.
Well, you know what? We have to consider picking up his fifth-year option.
Whoa. Whoa. Chip, I'm going to negotiate that right
Chip's
away.
on fire tonight.
We got to get him on the 5th year at BPTV.
Then we can franchise it.
Yeah,
was good.
yeah.
That was good.
We'll hold him at that same fee that he's getting. You know, like all of us tonight. We all get well paid with pizza and hoagie.
Thanks
And
to you.
a little bit of Lipton tea somewhere in there. All right. I want you for BPTV. Call 412-831-3304. You can work on your 5th-year option, as Chip brought up. Check that out. And
Rookie contract.
we got
I like
Steve. We
that.
got A2. We got Nick. We got Ryan. And who's that one that you say never has a hair out of place, Smoking Jim?
My main man, Anthony.
All right.
We
got
getting ready to go to
Tony,
the casino
we
in
got
2 weeks.
Anthony. So, and A1's birthday's coming up August 31st. He's turning that magical age, 21.
Ooh.
All right. Another lady that needs a kidney. Kathleen Miller contacted me. She's at Friendship Village on Boyce Road in Upper St. Clair. And her kidney function's 17%, and it's getting worse. And she may need a kidney transplant, so we're trying to get a living donor. My son gave me a kidney. He's doing well, and he's a living donor, and I'm doing very well because of that. So I'm a promoter of getting a living donor. And you can get them, I'll say it out loud, livingdonorreg.upmc.com. Say you want to donate to Kathleen Miller, and they'll check her blood type against your blood type and health. And if you're a perfect match, you could give her a kidney. It's a 1-hour operation. They take the kidney out, and if you're in good health, you won't have any problems with your kidney. Like my son, no problems whatsoever. He was back to work in 6 weeks and still healthy and no side effects. So check it out, livingdonorreg.upmc.com. All right, we got one more ad for these rookie interns. I'm a little nervous here. We'll see what we can do. Little drum roll. There it is.
Wow.
Skeet Service Station. Look at the shaking's a minimum, and Pittsburgh Sportsline is right behind it. What a pick. I'll even adjust it. There we go. Perfect. 724-348-4715. That's the phone number. 6103 Route 88, Finleyville. Red, white, and blue station. Smoking Jim and I know it. We've had inspected cars and other work on our cars and things like that. Anything that runs on gas, they can fix it, repair it, you name it, from weed whackers, cars, trucks, tractors, trailers, boats, they can work on it. Electronic devices, they can work on them too, now they've told me. And a couple years ago, they captured a couple raccoons that lived in a cage. And guess what? They got old enough and tired of the good food. And Skeets' mother, Mimi, had a blanket for him, and they ran away. Never to be seen again. 2 raccoons. They were trying to make them into pets.
Good eating.
No, they didn't eat them, Smoking Jim. You've had the pig's feet there on the Monday smorgasbord. We know that. And they had chitlins one time in a bucket just for you. And you had to go pick the greens, and I heard you never came back. But that's what I'm talking about. Skeet Service Station. Check them out. Give them a call again, 724-348-4715. And did I mention about Olive Oil's Pizzeria and their pizza again? Check that out. And Skeet sponsors What's on Your Mind. So Smoking Jim Frazier, what's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
Coming at you.
you got to see Levine.
What was all that wiggling there?
But I tell you what, I got to give a shout out to my main man, Ryan. I tell you what, I went back and watched the fight that he edited. Man, what a great job, man. Congratulations to Ryan. Hey, we really appreciate the VIP of BPTV. Took a night off from KDKA to crawl on the floor, get all the wiring and stuff together. Man, he worked his tail off down there in Moundsville, West Virginia. So we appreciate you too.
Well, Smoking Jim, didn't you hold the towel to wipe them down?
No, I didn't. I was too busy taking a picture with the ring card girl. I wiped her down, the talking machine. Was she beautiful for her age or what?
I mean, there were like 5 of them,
Wow.
so I don't know.
Well,
Me and Al know which one we talking
Well,
about.
the one you're talking about is
Yeah.
in her 40s, and
Yes.
she's beautiful.
And I met her daughter. Her daughter was 24. And I couldn't believe it. I thought she was 24 until she told me she had a daughter 24 that she adopted. But hey, Al Levine, the talking machine, I tell you what, man.
Glad we clarified that.
Hey, listen.
What?
You know, being that the Pirates lost 11 out of the last 12, I'm rolling in the money. I got so much money now, Al Levine, the talking machine, I didn't know what to do with it, so I got into Bitcoin. Yeah, Al Levine, I got Cybro money all over the place now.
Oh, that.
It's flipping like a fish. It's flipping and flopping. That money is coming in.
Smoking Jim,
Bitcoin.
to all you BPTV fans, you know Smoking
Thanks
Jim.
to Pirates.
Smoking Jim's only as good as the last person he talked to. It's called crypto money.
Crypto.
So
I got a lot of it.
let me explain that he could not buy it because he doesn't do anything online. He has no government name, no credit cards, no Social Security, no nothing, because he's off in some area. So he doesn't have anything crypto. This is total fabrication. Just ignore it. You're off the subject of sports, Smoking Jim. What's on your mind for sports?
To get back on sports, I didn't realize they lost that many games.
Yeah, 11 out of 12.
That's
Just
crazy.
I
verified it.
check
It's on
my
the truth.
Bitcoin account.
And another bit of trivia, since you're on sports and he's not, the Cubs won up the Bucks. They lost 12 in a row.
Really?
Yeah.
The Cubs and the Orioles, and the last time the two teams completed
Thank
a
you.
12-game losing streak on the same day was in 1935
I didn't know
in
that.
Major League Baseball.
That's why we have chip, and trivia. Sorry, I
How
went
about
right
my
to trivia.
Arizona Diamondbacks? They got to be in the running.
Well, they had a large losing streak before.
Okay.
He was talking about 2.
But what's on my mind?
Don't explain to Smoking Jim that he misses our conversation.
But what's on my mind, Al Levine, the
Yeah,
talking
what is?
machine and Chip?
We're trying to get to it.
When with me, if you're white, you're all right. Steelers did a great job. They made a trade for Joe Schobert. And I tell you what, they got a great linebacker. Listen, I've never been a fan of Devin Bush. I told you I didn't like Devin Bush. The first day on the job, the Pittsburgh Steelers says, you're the leader of our defense. You got the green dot on your helmet. You're going to make all the calls. And Bush, you can go ahead and enjoy Twitter like you've been doing. Listen, they finally got a serious linebacker in the middle. Now the Pittsburgh Steelers, what they need to do, I said on draft day, I'm the only one on the planet that said on draft day that T.J. Watt is the best linebacker in Pittsburgh Steelers history. He proved me right. Pittsburgh paid a man. He deserved it. We got Schobert. We got Watt. We got an opportunity now to go 7-10. And that's what's on my mind.
Thank you for your opinion on sports again, Smoking Jim. We appreciate we made it there. It's a struggle.
It's on you.
Chip Hayner, what's on your mind?
Well, what's on my mind is a local football legend. University of Pitt
I know.
graduate.
Yeah.
Went to high school at Beaver Falls High School.
Man, don't say
Joe Walton passed away on the 15th. Joe Walton was a standout player for the University of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Played 7 years in the NFL. He and in 20 years as the head coach and creator of the football program for Robert Morris University. A lot of people don't remember that Joe Walton was also the head coach of the New York Jets for 7 years.
Yeah.
And he was Chuck Noll's last offensive coordinator. An experience that didn't end well for him because he had a quarterback who was probably the dumbest player that ever played for Chuck Noll. And I mean, he makes Terry Bradshaw look like a Mensa candidate, and that was Bubby Brister because he couldn't understand the offense. He couldn't understand the offense because he couldn't even spell his own name.
Right.
But Joe Walton.
And you probably have his autograph.
No, well, yeah. No, we barred him from the place that I served at.
Understand.
And for reasons that I'll share off the air.
Can't wait.
But Joe Walton devoted his life to football, and he never forgot his roots. He stayed here,
A true
created
legend.
and developed a football program at Robert Morris University for 20 years. Retired. He was 85 years old when he passed. But I just
May he
wanted
rest
to
in
make sure
peace.
that we gave note to a football legend out of Western Pennsylvania. So,
One of the best.
So that's what's on my mind.
Thank you,
this
Chip.
Hey, Chip. No, I was raising my hand, but this is how you know somebody. And we got outstanding young people in here tonight.
Where they at?
This is how you know that a man created something outstanding. Most of you young people don't know that at one time Robert Morris didn't have football. So Joe Walton built that program up, like you said, they had no football, no recruits, nobody wanted to go there. In fact, when Kevin Colbert went there as the manager of the basketball team and hockey team, there was no football at all at Robert Morris. So great job, Chip.
Smoking Jim,
My
this
friend
is
Kevin
this is the
Colbert.
first time in 2021 that you've interrupted without a negative comment.
I love me some Joe Walton.
you know
if
what?
you white, you all right with me.
You know what? Anybody who's got anything negative to say about Joe Walton,
No, but
I don't have time for him.
Why don't you just punt on first down? Remember Bubby said that? Why don't we just punt on first down?
I can tell you some stories about Bubby, but
You will for
they
a
won't
minute
be
after
told
the
on
show.
the air. I can promise
I'll
you.
repeat it.
And Smoking Jim, can you hold up your pasta to dinner?
Yes. Oh, is this good? I wish I could share it.
Tell them what it is.
Lasagna.
And if he's asleep in 15 minutes, you'll know why.
Oh, is this good? I never thought it'd be this good.
They're very good. Your girlfriend Bonnie from Monroeville out there. She goes there. She travels from Monroeville to
You mean
go
the
to.
Hall of Famer?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah. Because we actually talk, and we don't just talk sweetie stuff like you do. She actually said that she comes here with her family to have a meal.
At Pasta too.
I didn't stutter.
Wow. Thank you for the gift cards
Oh, you're
over the
welcome.
years.
You're welcome, buddy. I'm glad that you're reaping that reward and eating while we're talking here. All right, Nick Callis, what's on your mind?
News from a former Pirate broke today. Felipe Vasquez got sentenced to 2 to 4 years in prison for his conduct with a minor
Yeah.
a couple years ago. So justice has been served.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Oh, thanks.
on
man.
another note, yeah, just that news. But on another note, Al made a comment earlier, and I'm just going to say this about the Facebook likes or the
okay.
YouTube likes.
That slipped out. Sorry. It just slipped out.
A1 and I were playing a video game earlier, good competition, and we made a bet that if we could get 50 likes on one of his videos, that he would play Rocket League with us, and he did not accept. So that's what that story was about. Did not accept the publicity,
The backstory
which is just unbelievable. The
made
backstory made it on air.
It made it on air. Hopefully he didn't cut your mic. He may have cut your mic. I've heard of that happen before. You might have been censored.
Yeah.
Well,
But that's all that's on my mind for right now. Yeah.
I appreciate your enthusiasm. You know I'm not promoting if I'm not talking, so I do promote. If I mention olive oils for the 6th time, I apologize.
You mean
Check
the one
them
at
out.
Hillcrest Shopping Center?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Thank you very much. All right. I'll do what's on my mind. Being a pitcher like Chip, actually pitching baseball, there was a great debut by a first-time Diamondback pitcher. He's only like the 4th ever. I knew it'd be on your mind, but yeah, he had a no-hitter, walked 3 batters, and made his debut. I'll let Chip give you details on it. But to me, I just love stuff like that because, Chip, you'll appreciate this. Remember in the newspaper, if you had a no-hitter, they'd put that in there? Well, I cut out my 2 no-hitters when I actually have it. I'm going to bring it in sometime. And it was an old Bible that I had, and I still have the clips. They're a little weathered, but it said how I had the 2 no-hitters. So unlike Smoking Jim, Greg Kirby caught my games, and that was my catcher. And we won't go any further than that. But a no-hitter is such a great thing because it doesn't happen all the time. This year there were 8 of them officially. The one with the 7 innings, I still question it, but I understand the logic between a 7-inning no-hitter and a 9. So I do understand the logic. So I won't, since Chip showed me his little cheat sheet, I'm not going to take anything away from it, but I thought it was great that a first start for a rookie, no-hitter.
And in front of his mother and father. Did
I
you see
know.
the video?
I saw
His
it.
father broke down in tears.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just that's a moment that
Yeah.
that's a the
That's a
Norman
lifetime.
Rockwell classic.
Yeah, especially with the American game baseball. Yes, definitely. We'll be back with some fiction and fact while Smoking Jim choked that lasagna down. So we'll see you in a minute or two.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And I tell you what, man, I think I heard through the grapevine, since I'm so much into baseball now, that with winning so much on the Pirates, that
Disclaimer, that is not a true statement.
I heard through the grapevine that Austin Meadows was on my favorite team, the Tampa Bay Rays. They may win it all, man. Is that right?
I'm sorry, you're wearing a Yankees hat but claiming you're a Rays fan?
Yeah, I don't know
Oh,
where
okay.
I get a
Just
Rays
want to
hat,
make sure I got that.
But
Nick,
I'm an
maybe-
Austin Meadows fan.
Nick,
Because if you're white, you're right.
No, Nick and Chip, I got to have you interrupt.
Yeah,
that
I mean-
he thinks Austin Meadows just become a Tampa Ray.
They're good.
Yeah, he's been a Tampa Ray
They're
since
really good, aren't they?
2019.
Wait,
No, they're
listen
not.
to what he's telling you.
Since
But
2019.
I didn't know that till now. Yeah,
Folks,
they told me, and he's.
And
My
actually got traded
disclaimer-
in 2018 for
Yeah.
So you,
They're doing, and he's doing good, right?
did you not hear about the catastrophe of a trade that eventually came
I
out?
heard,
That he
but
was
I
an
don't
Neil
All-Star
all-star?
Huntington
and-
fired
Huh?
and Clint Hurdle fired.
I'm just saying he's doing good. I mean,
Fans,
he was
let
doing
me
good with
interrupt
the Pirates.
both of you, all 3 of you. Fans, as I disclaimed what Smoking Jim said about following baseball, he's only 2 years behind. Not too shabby. Not too shabby.
Actually, it was 2018. When
That's
we
what I
traded
thought.
him.
Yeah. Yeah, 3
2018
years.
he traded
I
him.
stand corrected.
I wasn't trying to
I
knock
am
the
wrong.
Pirates.
No,
Chris
no.
Archer.
I wasn't trying to knock the Pirates.
Oh, yes, you were.
No, I was just saying. I
Meadows
did
played like
Tampa Bay's
15
doing
games
good,
in the
he's
majors.
doing good.
Here, let me explain Smoking Jim. Smoking Jim tries to go with facts, and he just found this out from 3 years ago that we knew about it, us 3. So who follows baseball truly? I'll leave it up to
I
you.
just started following baseball now. I'm winning all this money. But here's a fact.
Wait, why do you like him?
Here's a fact.
He don't even
Here's
know.
a fact.
See.
A2 is swagged down from head to toe, ain't he, man? I'll tell you what, we can learn something from A2.
See, a
told
ball
you.
player wears his cap like this, doesn't wear this bill straight out like a duck.
But here, hey, this,
Hold it. Let me interrupt you. A2, did I call what Smoking Jim would say? He's shaking his head. I can hear it. I can hear it. He's
Well, I like
shaking
that
his
yellow,
head.
too.
Thumbs up.
I like that yellow, too. All that hair on your chest.
Smoking Jim.
Thanks, buddy.
Smoking Jim.
Hey, yes, sir.
Why do you like Austin Meadows?
When you're white, you're all right. Hey,
Great.
but listen, let me get through
Oh,
this real
Tony
quick.
from Chick-fil-A. The race card come out twice in a minute there, just so you know.
I'm going to get through this real quick.
Not really.
Everybody know I was blessed in high school to play on the state championship football team that we had to forfeit the season. Just like in college. But
What year was that?
But hey, Levine, the talking machine, the one thing that I remember is that
You knew your
know what I
coach.
mean? I kind of stood out like a sore thumb because not only was I the only black player on the team,
Okay.
I was the first player in Gateway history to wear white shoes, right? And we could never play teams locally. We played Altoona, Johnstown, Erie. Nobody locally wanted to play us.
Right.
Well, that year, Plum had a good team, and I remember in midget football,
How close was Plum?
it was pretty close.
Okay.
In midget football, we played them on our way to winning the mythical national championship when I was
Right.
13. And I never forget.
Whoa, we
Plum
found
had
out his
this-
age. We can start
Plum
ciphering.
had this white running back that was unbelievable. He wore number 22. And I remember he got outside, which is nobody scored on us, right?
Right.
He got outside on a sweep. I come flying up Levine, the talking machine, to get a good look on him, get a good lick on him. And I went to hit him. And next thing I know, I hear the crowd cheering. He hurdled me on our way to one of the few touchdowns we ever given up. But he was all state in baseball, all state in football.
What was his name?
That year, the year before my senior year, I go to the Big Ten. I got invited to the Big Ten football camp, right?
Yeah.
And he was there, and all the coaches wanted him. You know what I mean? And I was tell you what, Levine, the talking machine. That's back when I used to eat articles, newspaper articles that I didn't like off the wall. So every time I see a newspaper article about him, I start chewing. So anyhow, Al, I was so mad. And
Who even eats
then
newspaper
they had a
articles?
nose tackle that was also great. So anyhow, you know what I mean?
You ate his
So
articles
we
too.
both are. Well, all three of us are on recruiting visits after during our senior year to West Virginia.
Yeah.
The nose guard got a full scholarship. The white running back got a full scholarship. They told me to go to junior college. So now I'm pissed, Al. So my senior year was the first and only year that they had an all-star game other than the Big 33. Now, I made the Big 33 as an alternate, even though I don't believe in playing in all-star games. But they had what was called the East-West Shrine game. I think it was to raise money for disadvantaged kids, right?
Right.
You know, handicapped kids.
Yeah.
So we're out there. Now, he's the best running back probably in the state. For some reason, I don't even think he ever played defense a day in his life. He's
Yeah.
playing defense. South Allegheny had a great player that year. Dave Ofar was who was very well known at South Allegheny, but they had this black kid named Darnell Richardson
Yeah.
that was also a great baseball and track guy. Darnell Richardson weighed 155 pounds, 160 soaking wet. He catches
Which was it?
He catches the ball over the middle. I'm playing defense too. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to leave the field
Yeah.
in the East-West Shrine
You explained it
game.
last week. Yeah.
So, I'm on defense too. I can't get 22 because this white running back got 22 and he's playing defense. Never played defense before in his life. He comes make a tackle. Him and Darnell Richardson's good friends. Full scholarship to West Virginia. Darnell gets the ball. You know how the brothers do. They always got a showboat. Gets up. He drops the ball on the guy's chest. He never moved again. Jeff Boynton was paralyzed for the rest of his life. One of the great athletes. Raised money for him for years. He had pneumonia after that. They canceled. The game was no more. It was one and done after that. For years, he never blamed anybody. He gave money, scholarship money to Plum High School, memorial scholarships in his name. Could have been an NFL player, could have been a Major League Baseball player, was probably better than Tim Tebow. And just never.
Why'd you bring Tebow up?
Because he
just got
today.
released.
Thank you, Chip.
But I tell you what,
I knew it.
I tell you what, Al Levine, the talking machine.
He's covering it all.
And they passed,
Hold it, disclaimer. This was supposed to be short 5 minutes ago.
and this is it. I'm wrapping it up now. I just found out he passed away like 4 or 5 years ago from a car accident. I don't know who was driving, but he didn't.
Maybe he was
survive.
driving.
Maybe, but I tell you what a great guy. Probably the greatest athlete next to Tommy Flynn, another white guy, that come out of that Eastboro community. Both
You mean
of them-
Plum?
No, Eastboro, like
Which is it?
Penn Hills, Monroeville, the east.
You mentioned Penn Hills.
Yeah, east.
Plum is there.
Yeah, I'm saying.
You can say
Yeah,
Plum.
them two were probably the best two athletes
Okay.
that come out of that area, and he'd have been every bit as good as Tommy Flynn in college. What a great athlete.
And say his name again.
Jeff Boyton made a tackle, made an easy tackle, that a routine tackle, never got up, broke his neck or whatever.
Wow.
So that's what's on my mind.
Well, before I get started with my trivia segment, just another little piece of trivia for Jim, since he brought his name up, Tim Tebow. Are we finally done? Excuse me.
Take a drink.
Are we finally done with Tim Tebow in professional sports?
No, he's gonna try out for fullback.
Tim
next.
Tebow was a great college quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay? As an NFL quarterback, other than one play that made Ike Taylor look like the worst cornerback in history, he was a miserable failure. Okay?
Yes.
Then he left football because he couldn't get a job playing for anybody. Decided he wanted to play baseball, and he was an utter failure at that endeavor.
Yeah.
So then he decided after 12 years out of football that he's going to try to become a tight end. Well, if you watch the game he played against Cleveland last weekend, it didn't take but 2 plays to give him his ticket out of football. Goodbye, Tim Tebow. I never want to hear about him again.
Right.
So that being said, so Alan
And he
brought
only,
up
he only
earlier.
missed those 2 blocks that he was
Well,
supposed
yeah,
to make.
yeah, those are the only
Badly.
the only 2 plays he made.
Right.
Or didn't make.
Yes.
So
Go ahead.
anyhow, Alan brought up the Tyler Gilbert threw a no-hitter
That's why I left it to you.
in
Yes.
his first game pitched in the major leagues, and has now become the 4th player in Major League Baseball history to throw a no-hitter on his first game pitching in the major leagues. The other 3 players that have share that same distinction are household names, just nobody's household that we've ever heard of before.
Yes.
Theodore Brittenstein in 1891. Bumpus Jones in 1892. And Bobo Holloman in 1953, who no-hit, I believe, the Pittsburgh Pirates. So we've got 4 players that have thrown no-hitters. Alan also brought to our attention there's been 8 no-hitters thrown this year. They've been thrown by Joe Musgrove, Carlos Rodon of the Chicago White Sox, John Means of the Baltimore Orioles, Wade Miley of the Cincinnati Reds, Spencer Turnbull of the Detroit Tigers, Corey Kluber of the Yankees, Zach Davies, and 3 relievers for the Chicago Cubs on June 24th, and Tyler Gilbert. And didn't Madison Bumgarner throw one? Well, sort of.
Not
Bumgarner,
there.
the former ace and 3-time World Series winner of the Giants, shut out Atlanta on April the 25th and allowed no hits in the process. But because of a doubleheader rules developed last season, the game was limited to 7 innings. A 1991 ruling intended to eliminate rain-shortened no-hitters and other oddities made throwing at least 9 complete innings a requirement for a game to be recognized as a no-hitter. Bumgarner's game will instead be classified as a notable achievement. He says, I didn't give up any hits today. I'm not in control how many innings we're playing. So that is the reason why that no-hitter
That
did
clarification,
not count.
yes.
A little bit of...
Thank you,
So
Chip.
a number of factors are in play leading to the surge of no-hitters. Chief among them, an emphasis on power pitching and batters having shown a willingness to sell out contact in order to increase power. Those factors, plus surgical deployment of high-quality relievers, have resulted in strange numbers across the board. Teams are averaging 8.04 hits per game through August 13th, tied for the second lowest mark since 1909.
Wow.
According to Baseball Reference, and we're striking out 8.78 times a game, the second highest total ever.
That's almost one an inning.
As a result, batters were hitting .242 and scoring was down significantly for the second consecutive season. Another factor that has to be considered is control. Shutouts are almost entirely a thing of the past. There have been 24 this season, and there have been fewer than 40 in each season since 2015.
Wow.
But 7 starters who have thrown a no-hitter this season have kept their pitch counts low by employing remarkable control. Gilbert walked 3 batters, Turnbull walked 2, Miley and Kluber each walked 1. The other 3 pitchers who threw a no-hitter this season didn't issue a free single pass. That obviously was not the case in the Cubs' combined no-hitter, where each pitcher issued at least 1 walk.
Wow.
So, but you can't discount simple variance. While no-hitters come at a fairly predictable rate over a long period of times, they have frequently come in clumps, then gone long stretches without one. Do the most dominant pitchers throw no-hitters? That's a question that's asked.
Yes.
Hardly. While Nolan Ryan was the most unhittable pitcher in Major League history and threw a record 7 no-hitters, other dominant pitchers failed to throw one despite similar credentials.
Sure.
Most notably, Roger Clemens, Greg Maddux, Pedro Martinez, Steve Carlton, Grover Cleveland Alexander. Wow. Among the current superstars who have yet to throw one, Garrett Cole of the Yankees, Cleveland's Shane Bieber, Zach Greinke of the Houston Astros, and Jacob deGrom of the New York Mets. Meanwhile, Mike Fears, a fairly uninspiring veteran for the Oakland A's, has thrown 2. And perfect games, last but not least. And I'll get through this quick. With all these no-hitters, it would seem logical that a perfect game would be mixed in.
Yes.
But baseball is in a strangely long stretch without one. Both Carlos Rodon and John Means came tantalizingly close to perfection this season, but Felix Hernandez, King Felix, of the Seattle Mariners, threw baseball's last perfect game August 15th, 2012.
Wow.
That stretch of nearly 9 years is the longest between perfect games since the gap of 13 years, 7 days between Catfish Hunter's masterpiece on May 8th, 1968, and Len Barker's on May 15th, 1981. And the interesting thing about that, on May 15th, 1981, on a station that we used to get on our cable, WUAB, which was the Lorraine Cleveland station.
Right, I remember.
I watched that game being played, and I watched that on TV. I have personally witnessed 2 no-hitters pitched.
Right at the stadium.
One at Three River Stadium, one at PNC Park.
Nice.
So,
Chip, you brought up something on Facebook. I wanted to bring it up since you're talking about the hitters and all the strikeouts. You posted something on Harmon Killebrew, one of my favorite players.
no, Ted Kluszewski.
Oh, Ted Kluszewski. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Ted Kluszewski, who was a beast. How strong he was and everything else. I think he had 44 homers.
He struck out
it's
25.
35 times he struck out.
Right.
And that just blew me away because I remember he had the short sleeves and he had arms like Earl Campbell's thighs.
Now we're going for a guy that hits 30 home runs, 180 strikeouts is the norm. And that's where my complaint is that the hitting in baseball
that's why I wanted to reinforce
has gotten
that.
worse.
Yeah.
I don't think the pitching's any better. I think the hitting's gotten worse.
Understand. That's one of those that proves that. Smoking Jim, what are you going to disprove?
I just want to say that I believe in my heart that we will see more perfect games in Major League Baseball would hire more softballs. That's the key, brother.
To pick a baseball reference, that came out of left field.
Okay.
That's the key. Left-handed pitcher.
We'll just ignore that for tonight.
Oh, you said southpaws.
Yeah.
I thought you said softballs. You started using
He
no.
did.
Softball.
He did say softball.
Did I meant southballs?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
not softball.
Yeah, he did.
I had
That's why I looked
lasagna
at
in my
you.
mouth. Yeah, southballs.
No, they're still on your plate. Just eat that and be
Left-handed
quiet.
pitcher.
In other words, the expert on our panel that doesn't know baseball, that's his opinion. And it's only represented by him. None of us even want to agree with it. We can't even agree to disagree because it's 100% wrong. And we're going to go to the VIP.
Very important positions with me. All right. Well, with the Pirates being a calamity still and their season pretty much lost, I'm going to go away from that and talk about the Steelers and football. I think about the quarterback situation, the backup quarterback that I think should be number 2, Dwayne Haskins. I like the way he played, and I think that he is undervalued, I think. I thought that he looked good, and I'll tell you that Mason Rudolph to me is just not the future of the Steelers. You know, watching him play over a couple seasons, and then him in the preseason game so far this year just doesn't look good. I don't know. I mean, Josh Dobbs should stay in there as well, but I think they got to flush Mason Rudolph, and I like Dwayne Haskins. No matter how much Chip giggles over there,
I
like Dwayne Haskins.
I got to agree with you. Haskins been playing better since his wife knocked his teeth down his throat. But I tell you what, I would get rid of Haskins and Mason Rudolph because the team won't play hard for him. Big Ben loves Joshua Dobbs, and I love him too. That would be my backup.
Okay, right, but who's gonna be a 3 then?
Okay, wait.
That was
No,
my
you don't
point.
have to have a 3.
You
can
just
bring
have 2
Gus back.
quarterbacks?
Wait a minute.
No.
Okay.
No.
To speak to the point, and why I was chuckling about Dwayne Haskins, because now everybody seems to think that he's the next great thing. When what did he do? He went and looked pretty good playing against players that aren't even going to play in the NFL this year.
Okay.
Third stringers for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Got it.
Which is a dog with fleas. Let me finish.
Well, no,
Which is a dog with fleas.
No, I get it. Wait, okay, time out. I get it. I got it.
When he
Wait.
played against number ones, his record was 1-5, and he played so horribly that they threw him off the team.
He is. I'm not saying he's the next great thing. I'm just saying that we've developed an investment in Mason Rudolph over a couple years now, and we're talking about a future quarterback because Ben Roethlisberger will not play football forever. So my point is, I think Dwayne Haskins for now could be a guy to invest in because I think he looked good. I don't think Joshua Dobbs is up there. Joshua Dobbs has been a good backup quarterback, but my point here is that Mason Rudolph definitely should not be the number 2. I think they've got to move on from him and either develop somebody else after drafting.
Here, I got to interrupt both of you. Right here, we have 2 opinions, and I don't believe in watching preseason games except to see some of the rookies like Najee Harris and the tight end from Penn State and see how they play for a few plays because Chip brought the point up, and I understand the optimism you have, but the caliber of players, that's what I worry about, what they do next. And he has a record that isn't that good, and he's been known to be immature. Now, you're 22, and you don't seem immature. Haskins seemed very immature, and if his wife knocked his teeth out, then Smoking Jim can talk about that later.
So here's the thing that I find interesting, and I hear this all over the airwaves on talk radio. Is why are we talking about the future when, to be honest with you, the future we should be talking about is the season of 2021, which is what we're going to be playing in. What's going to happen in 2022? I have no idea. The world could come to an end before we get to 2020. So why worry about who's going to be the quarterback then when we've got a season right now?
I can answer that.
I do honestly believe, unlike my friend Jim, that the Steelers are going to win a minimum of 10 games this year.
Yeah.
Now hold on. Now, my concern with that is Ben Roethlisberger in 2019 got hurt, and then what happened? Mason Rudolph was the primary quarterback, and they didn't make playoffs. So my whole point is, yeah, maybe you don't want to necessarily think about 2022 too much, but if Ben Roethlisberger goes down again, because he is old and he's been subject to injury over the last few seasons, who do we get to rely on? It's not Mason Rudolph.
Great job.
Well,
That's my
Mason
point.
Rudolph actually has a winning record as a starting quarterback in the NFL, and Dwayne Haskins does not.
That's fine. I just don't think Mason Rudolph looks all that good, and I'm not even
And
talking.
I don't think he's
I'm
done
not talking
anything
about
to lose his job either. He hasn't done anything.
I think he should lose his job. That's the segment. Very important positions, and my opinion on this is that I don't think the Steelers should invest in him anymore.
Well, we'll agree to disagree, but I just have to put this caveat in there. The Steelers are high on Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
And I'll just leave it at that. And have they been wrong since Dan Rooney passed the torch to Art III? Yes. And they're questionable. And we haven't won a Super Bowl since when? 2009?
Since we've been cursed.
Well, Smoking Jim calls it a curse because he makes up these curses as he's munching his lasagna. But that's enough from Nick right now. Appreciate your opinion. Chip, always appreciate the facts that you try to bring to the conversation. Smoking Jim, I don't know what to appreciate except we're best friends. So I appreciate that. And we're going to move on. September 4th. Mark your calendars, the USS Fight Academy in North Versailles. We're back again, buddy. They told us see you there, so that assumes me and you will be together. And if Nick can make it, I already told him to mark his calendar on that date.
I did mark it, but I didn't get my schedule yet at the station.
I understand, so we may not have him, so we might look for someone else to try to do some filming. So we'll have to see. Steve's raising a hand, so we'd love to have him back aboard. And he likes our boxing just like Nick appreciates boxing
My eyes
more
have
than
been
ever.
open to the sport, absolutely.
Definitely, especially after you performed on the fights that were edited by Ryan. It was a great night of fights, and Nick did a great job on the cameras too. Smoking Jim missed to say that. He just said it was great editing, but you know.
No, he gave me credit too. He
Did
told
he
me
give
I
a
was,
little bit?
He did. He told me he was crawling all over the floor, getting us
Yeah,
plugged
but
in.
that wasn't about what you did with filming. He just said how you were cleaning the floors, but, you know, we respected that. Yeah. Basically, when you're crawling on it, you're cleaning the floors. To me, you did great video work. And then September 12th, that's a Sunday. I'm going to be doing with Nick, we're going to do the Joey Fabus childhood 5K 1 mile run and walk. And we'll be doing that at 9 in the morning. And then at 2 in the afternoon, we'll meet Smoking Jim at about 1:59. They're supposed to do fights for Jack Mook. He didn't give me the location. I'm assuming it may be at his gym, but it might be at some other location, so we'll find that out on the 12th. So we have a couple of those things happening that are out there. So that's our on location. We're going to come back with a little Bucko Talk to end this show. We got it, some Bucko talk. Not too much to talk about with the Buccos, although I did see the first game of a doubleheader with 14-4, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I was shocked.
I was at the second game.
I was shocked with that score, 14 runs.
Yeah.
And
14 runs, 19 hits.
Yes.
That's the most hits in Pirate history in a 7-inning game.
Wow.
But, you know, that all being said, I kept telling them, you know, and they putting runs across the plate in the 5th inning. And I said to my wife, they need to save a few of those for the next game. And, well, lo and behold, we got shut out. But, you know, the Pirates they set a record yesterday by making some roster moves. So far, they have now used 56 different players this season.
Really?
Which is the most players the Pirates have ever used in a single season.
And it's not over yet.
Ever. 135 years. That's 56 players. Now, they've got a guy starting tonight at first base. They got rid of the big Nagowski. okay, who did a great job for the first month that he was here.
Yeah.
But his batting average in the month of August is .094.
Is that what it is?
And
Okay.
you know, he got a lot of hits, but he hit one home run. And even though he'd made contact with the ball, your corner positions, whether it's first and third or right and left field, are positions that you need production out of. You need guys that are going to put the ball in the seats.
Right.
So we signed a guy, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. He's a Japanese player,
Yeah.
and he will be starting at first base tonight for the Pirates.
Okay.
And he was a home run hitter in Japan, but I believe he's 28 or 29 years old. He's going to be playing. He played in his first game last night, got his first base hit.
Nice.
I believe he got a double last night, but he's going to be starting tonight and playing first base. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And so, you know, I think by the time the season's over and done with, we're going to be probably have used between 60 and 70 players.
Wow.
Which, you know, to be honest with you, we need to find out who of all these prospects we're going to bring in, who are the ones that are going to be the stars of the future.
And it's a good
the stars
time.
of the future, I believe, are somewhere on the roster between the major leagues and low A.
Oh, they could be.
You know, I mean,
with all the acquisitions they've
all
had.
the acquisitions, there's players that need time to develop. Last year, no minor leagues really hurt the developmental status of a lot of the Pirates prospects. So,
Right.
you know, as
No,
Pirate
it's
fans,
a good point, but you're pumping Smoking Jim up because he can still bet that they lose. And they will surprise him every once in a while.
You know what? I love Jim like a brother, you know, but he is a bookie's dream.
Great point, Chip. Explain it. Explain it, because
I hit a parlay.
He never takes the winnings and walks away. You know?
That's true.
hold it. He says he bets $250 a day. I said I'll hold the $250 tonight and give it to you next week.
No, you say it right, Alan. It's $250.
$250.
You know who's holding my $250 a day?
No.
Bitcoin.
I thought it was Macaroni Tony.
Second disclaimer. How can you buy a Bitcoin if you don't go online? Because that's how savvy he is. He doesn't know that he can't buy it unless he goes online. Because hence the cryptocurrency. And I'll repeat that, cryptocurrency.
So, hey, we got a couple minutes left, and, you know, we got the Steelers playing the Detroit
Saturday
Lions
night. Saturday
at
night.
Heinz Field, the only home
Game.
preseason game. Was talking to Jim off the air. And, you know, one of the things that we're talking about is Kevin Colbert has made some amazing moves. You know, David DeCastro goes down. They signed Trey Turner. You know, they bring in Melvin Ingram.
Yeah.
They bring in Joe Schobert to shore up the linebacking core. And the best part of signing Schobert was that Jacksonville picked up a fair portion of. So he's freed up about close to
What'd you say, 15 million?
15 million under the cap now that the Steelers can use for this year. And I believe that there's going to be more moves made between now and I was asking Jim, you know, where would you think the next smart move would be for them to make?
Well, being that the greatest receiver in Steeler history, Chase Claypool, went down with an ankle injury in practice today. That's kind of
I heard reports that it was just a sprained ankle and it shouldn't be something that.
so many fine ligaments and tendons in that ankle. It could give you problems all season long. But you know, I agree with you, Chip. That you know, I think that in the secondary would be where I would look. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and we were talking about that because, you know, the Steelers have shored up. They picked up a third outside rusher. Highsmith has been playing extremely well.
He's looked well.
Well, he didn't do nothing last game, but the game before he looked good.
Yeah.
Every other game.
Well, that's
Not
good.
too shabby.
That's 8.5 of them. Those are all wins.
Yeah.
Right around where Smoking Jim thinks we're going
But
to
I would love to free up some money by getting rid of the over the heel gang. Hayward. Other than he does
Didn't
more.
they just sign
he
him?
does more commercials than he gets sacks. Get rid of him, man.
They just signed him.
Yeah, 3 sacks last year. Get rid of
Yeah,
him.
but you don't get many sacks out of an interior lineman.
Why
Come
not?
on.
Why not?
Well, not a lot of teams do.
He's
I
a
mean, most
defensive end.
edge rushers
He's
get
a
all the
defensive
sacks.
end.
We're going to have to carry
Hey, no,
this
he's
on
not.
another time because these guys could debate this all day after the show and before the show next week. And we won't get a conclusion to that because they're both stubborn. I understand that.
No,
so.
I'm not.
Hence my point. Please stay Joey strong.